Pakistani security forces are on high alert across the country following a suicide attack December 17th by the Islamic State group. The attack targeted a church during Sunday worship, killing 9 people in Quetta. Quetta is the capital of southwestern Baluchistan province. 60 worshippers were also injured in that church assault. It was the first attack on a church claimed by the IS affiliate in Pakistan. A mass funeral for those killed in the attack was held the following day. The provincial police chief, Muazzam Ansari, said security forces were trying to find those who orchestrated the attack. Joining us now with more on the Pakistan Church tragedy is Wilson Chowdhry. He's president of Pakistani Christians, British Pakistani Christians out of London. Wilson, how did this happen? I thought there had been a warning from you and others about the possibility of an Islamic State attack against Pakistani Christians.
Well, in 2005, several newspapers wrote a story responding to a report we wrote to the High Commission of Pakistan, clearly indicating that there was an increase of threats to Pakistani Christian communities across the nation from groups claiming to represent IS, warning them that unless they converted to Islam, that they would be beheaded in IS-style killings. Our warning wasn't heeded. The government ignored it. The army actually went out and started giving letters to sending out letters to churches, warning them that IS was in the area and that they were purging their ranks of IS officers. However, nothing further happened from that. No extra security provision was provided. And I'm actually told that the church in Balochistan that was attacked was sending out messages to the government for at least the last 8 to 9 months, warning them that there'd been a heightened number of threats placed upon the church, asking them to convert to Islam or face dire consequences, which is what's happened during this Christmas time.
Okay, well, what about now? How would you describe the government's current efforts to protect churches from additional attacks this Christmas season?
There were private security officers inside the church. One of them is a Christian. It was a Christian himself who had a gun. He managed to hold the terrorists at bay. But the shooting exchange between both the perpetrators and the security officer resulted in a rapid response from security forces who arrived within 16 minutes and were able to kill one of the attackers before they got anywhere near the building. But the second one, realizing that his time was up, started shooting at the beginning of the building from outside and then detonated close to the church building, which caused the 9 deaths and the 52 or so who have now been registered as severe casualties.
Wilson, I have been to churches in Quetta, and I know that the security is pretty good. They're walled generally, several security guards. So how did they get through? I mean, authorities know that churches and Christians are often attacked during religious holidays like Easter and Christmas. Why aren't greater measures taken by the government to protect Christians at those times?
It's a question nobody can answer. They get warnings from us. They get warnings from others. We've reiterated several times that Easter and Christmas are specifically overt Christian celebrations. It doesn't matter what the government says, unless they put men with semi-automatic machine guns at the entrances of these churches, ensuring that these parishioners are protected. Nothing else will suffice. Believers need to pray for Christians in Pakistan. I mean, this is not the last bomb attack. You may not be aware of this. There was a bomb attack on the 1st of December. Even this month, there have been 2. That was also in Quetta. In that incident, a 7-year-old child was killed and a 4-year-old survived with severe injuries. These extremists are wise. They know where the security is. They know where the gates are. They know where the communities are. If we know, the government knows. Prayer is going to help, but perhaps we need to start sharing intelligence with churches, advising them on how they can ensure that their safety precautions are at their optimum. The churches need CCTV. Maybe some churches in the UK, America, Canada, we may want to donate CCTV equipment or equipment that's practical, that can help them in the get through the ongoing onslaught that Christians face.
Well, our thoughts and prayers, our hearts are certainly with the Pakistani Christians this Christmas season. And shifting gears a bit, I know it isn't just persecution against minority Christians in Pakistan. It's also happening in neighboring India. Now, I know some pastors were arrested in Madhya Pradesh while they were singing Christmas carols. So tell us what happened there, Wilson.
There were 32 seminaries and priests. The actual number of priests, I believe, was 2, and the rest were seminaries. So trainee priests from the Catholic Church who were going from building to building, singing carols, being quite jolly during this festive period of Christmas. They ended up in a building where they were singing when suddenly armed, men, a mob of Hindu fanatics entered the church and started to beat them, harass them. The men rushed to the police station, where they were then apprehended by the police after it was said that they had tried to forcibly convert Hindus. Now, these Hindu extremists are from the BJP party. They are Hindu nationalists who simply hate the idea of Christians being in their area, very much like the Muslims in Pakistan. And it seems to be worsening under the Modi regime. Modi himself was part of RSS, an extremely fanatical group who were responsible for the mass murder of a number of Muslims.
I think most Americans would be outraged to know that the victims of the crime were the ones arrested. Were they released?
They were released a day later after a intensive interview. However, one priest and 5 of his comrades have been falsely accused of having forcibly converted a Hindu man who seems to be changing his statement and appeared on NDTV saying he didn't want to speak about the issue because it would get him more involved in the process. I believe his fear is the more he gets involved, the more people see through his lies. I mean, in his comment to the local police, he said that he was dipped in water, in a river, to wash him of his sins, and given 10,000 rupees. The strange thing is, this is a Catholic community we're talking about. Catholics don't use full water immersion. That's a very Protestant ritual for the baptism rites. So when you think about this, it's obvious that the allegations are fallacious, yet the charges still stand, and these men will have to go to trial before they're exonerated. For me, this is such an abuse of a law that is designed to persecute and marginalize Christians. And until Modi and his awful regime start to think more egalitarian about the people living in their midst, Christians and other minorities will only have a worsening quality of life. If nothing else, it's probably now reached its lowest ebb.
Okay, beat up and arrested for singing Christmas carols in the world's largest democracy. Wilson Chowdhry of British Pakistani Christians, thank you so much, and thanks for keeping us on top of this. I know you'll keep an eye on it. Thank you.